today I wanted to just do a little sequence of exercises that involve the prickle balls. The prickle balls are quite squidgy and they've got little knobbly bits on them, and they come in a pair of 2. And they're very good for doing some massage on the low back area and just mobilising all those tight structures around the back. So if you've been doing quite a lot of exercise, sometimes if you've overdone the Pilates exercises, you can feel a bit of stiffness and soreness in the low back. And these balls are perfect for just trying to release some of that stiffness. The other area they're really good for is the hip area and over the glutes as well. So today we're going to do some exercises starting with some gentle mobilisation techniques for the low back and then doing some for the hip. Some of the exercises start to get a little bit difficult, so if you are in quite a lot of pain with your low back, stick to the lower levels. You can always stop the video part way through, just do those first exercises and then progress on to the other ones later. Okay, so we're going to get started. Going to come down into lying on our back, into our Pilates start position. And we're going to pop the spunky balls, those prickle balls, underneath the low back. So we're just going to start off with at the top of the pelvis and the low back. So you find that nice position, and you don't want to be in pain when you're on those 2 prickle balls there, but you do want to be feeling them on that area of tension. Okay, so we're going to start off with our hip twist. So our hip twist, hands down by the side, going to take our right knee out to the side and back to the centre. And you can stick with that right side. It's quite nice to stick with one side first, because you'll probably find that there's just one side that's a little bit more tender than the other. And it should feel quite nice just moving that leg out to the side. Good. So then let's move over to the left, keeping that right leg nice and still, taking that left leg out to the side. And you might find that one moves a little bit further than the other. There might be some stiffness on one side as opposed to the other. Good. Just do one more here. Nice. Okay, so then we'll come up into our tabletop on that right side, making sure that you're using those tummy muscles to keep the pelvis nice and still. And then we can do our one leg circles. So you're drawing a circle with the kneecap on the ceiling. So keeping those ribs down, keep the pelvis nice and still, and you're just moving around the kneecap, drawing those little circles, and then go back the other way. Good. So again, little circles on the ceiling, the movement's coming from the hip, pelvis is staying nice and still. Good. So then we can move on with that side into our level 3 hip twist. Sometimes it's nice to put your hand on your tummy just to monitor the pelvis isn't moving. And then so you may need a hand on the floor just for balance. And we're going to keep that foot in alignment with the knee and take that leg out to the side on the out breath. Come back on the in breath. Out on the out breath and back on the in breath. And you just feel that little pressure on your low back, top of your hip there. Good. Do 2 more. Nice. Take that leg back down. Let's come in onto the left side now. So we're starting off with our little circles. Drawing a little circle on the ceiling with the kneecap. Keeping that pelvis nice and still. Making the movement come from the hip. So you're just mobilising those structures at the back on top of the ball. Good. Let's go the other way. So little circles, keeping that kneecap parallel to the ceiling, but drawing that circle on the ceiling. Good. And then coming back into our hip twist. Keeping that pelvis nice and still, keeping that foot in alignment with the knee, taking that leg out to the side on the out breath, and then back in on the in breath. Out on the out breath, back in on the in breath. Good. If you feel those balls need to move around a little bit, then just shift them a bit to get that pressure in the correct place. Good. Keep going. And do another 2. And then take that leg back down. Good. So you might find that that is enough for the moment, or you might want to move into your double tabletop. So obviously you're putting a bit more pressure through the balls here. Take one leg to tabletop, keep those ribs down, and take that second leg to tabletop. So it's a little bit of a balanced challenge here. Keep the hands down by your side, the head nice and relaxed. Let's take our right foot then down to the floor and slide it away along the floor, straightening the leg. Fold that back in, come back to your start position. Go down with the left, push away, and then come back up, back to the top. Good, so you want to just take that foot to the floor, let the foot glide along the floor till the heel touches the floor, and then come back. And as you get to the end of that movement, you'll find that those glute muscles do start to kick in. Good. One more each side. And then back to the top. And then you can take your knees to your chest. You do a little bit of side to side. That will just mobilise on the top of those balls as well. And then let's take the legs back down. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to come now onto our side and use the balls to mobilise the muscles in the glutes. So I'm going to turn my back to the camera. I'm going to take our arm long, and you just pop that ball just behind, underneath there. And we're going to come into our clown position. So you've got your feet, bum, shoulders all lined up against the back of the mat. And then you're opening into that clown with that top leg. And you're squashing that ball at the same time. So you're not keeping your pelvis parallel on this one. You're letting it rock back a little bit. And just adjust that ball to be in the correct place for where you feel that tenderness in your glutes. So it could be low down, it could be higher up. And you'll find an area where you feel that it is being beneficial. Good. So just do a couple more. And then I'm going to turn over onto the other side. Same thing, finding that position with the glutes there. Feet, bum, shoulders all lined up against the back of the mat. But then you're looking to open into that clamp and drop back onto that ball a little bit. So you're getting that compression through those glutes at the top. And again, you just find that area where you're finding the most benefit. You might find a few areas. Good. So let's do 2 more. Good. Okay, so one more exercise. to really help that lumbar spine and hip area. We're going to come forward to lying on our tummy, and you're going to pop the ball, both balls, into the hip flexor area here. So you pop down onto your tummy, the balls into that hip flexor area there, and you just feel them on that tender area at the front there, on those hip flexor tendons. You want to tuck your tailbone under a little bit, and we're going to do alternate knee bends. So you bend the knee and back, bend the knee and back. And that little bit of pressure on those tendons just helps to release those tendons that get really tight at the front of the body. Good. So keep going. We'll do 2 more each side. Good. And then come back out of that position. Fantastic. So there you are, a few exercises that will help treat pain and tenderness in the lower area of the back and in the hip. It doesn't have to be these soft prickle balls. If you've got spiky balls, they're a little bit more severe, but those will work as well. But just listen to your body and don't push yourself too far on areas where you already have some tenderness.